Space was silent. Not the normal kind of silence, but the kind that made even ancient civilizations feel uneasy. Far beyond Earth's moon, something new appeared. There was no light, no sound, no energy wave. Just a straight line in space. Perfect. Endless. Invisible. At first, nobody understood what it was. Then the message arrived. Every advanced species received the same signal at the same time. It was short, clear, cold. This is the boundary of Earth. Do not cross. The galaxy reacted with laughter. Earth. That small blue planet full of fighting humans? They were known for wars, mistakes, and fear. Not power. Old empires mocked the warning. Young species ignored it. But a few felt something was wrong. Because humans did not send threats often. And when they did, they meant them. Days passed. Nothing happened. Until a simple scout drone crossed the line by mistake. No attack followed. No explosion. The drone just disappeared. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Erased. That was the moment fear was born. Because if Earth could erase matter without effort, what else were they hiding? And why had they waited until now to draw the line? Earth did not explain the line. No speeches. No warnings after the first message. Just silence. The line remained where it was, floating calmly in the dark. To humans it was simple. To the galaxy it was terrifying. On a distant observation station, the Galactic Council gathered. Screens showed the same image again and again. Empty space. Nothing special. Yet, no ship dared to cross it. Not anymore. The drone could have malfunctioned, one council member said. Or Earth used a hidden weapon, another replied. But why now? A third asked. They had centuries to show strength. The room fell quiet. Everyone knew the truth. Humans never showed power unless forced. Back on Earth, there were no celebrations. No victory messages. Only calm faces inside deep underground command rooms. General Marcus Hale stood before a large screen showing the boundary. Any movement? He asked. None, replied the officer. They are watching. Waiting. Marcus nodded. That's expected. Earth had learned a hard lesson long ago. Fear worked better than war. Years before the line, Earth was not safe. Alien probes had entered human space again and again. Scanning. Testing. Learning. They never attacked, but they never asked permission either. Humans noticed. Humans remembered. Now the line was the answer. Not a threat. A rule. Far from Earth, a powerful alien fleet stopped just short of the boundary. Commander Zether studied the space ahead. Scans show nothing, his science officer said. No mines. No fields. No weapons. Zether narrowed his eyes. Humans want us to believe in ghosts. He turned to his crew. Prepare a probe. Slow speed. No shields. The officers hesitated. But sir, the drone was weak, Zether interrupted. This fleet is not. The probe moved forward. Closer. Closer. It crossed the line. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then space bent. Not exploded. Not burned. Bent. The probe folded in on itself and vanished. Every sensor screamed. Crew members froze. Zether stepped back. That was not a weapon. It was worse. Across the galaxy, news spread fast. Not rumors. Facts. Every attempt to cross the line ended the same way. Big ships. Small ships. Unmanned machines. Gone. No debris. No energy trail. Just absence. Civilizations panicked. Trade routes changed overnight. Borders were redrawn. Earth became the center of every star map. A planet that did not expand. A species that did not chase power, yet controlled space like gods. One young species sent a message to Earth. It was polite. Careful. Why did you draw the line? Earth answered after 1 hour. Only one sentence. So you would not force us to draw another. The galaxy understood. The line was not Earth's limit. It was Earth's patience. And for the first time in history, The universe feared humans not for their weapons, but for their restraint. The galaxy did not sleep anymore. After the line appeared, every major civilization became an observer. They stopped exploring. They stopped expanding. And they started watching Earth. Far above a dying red star, the Galactic Council rebuilt its meeting chamber. This time, no one laughed. Large screens floated in the air, all showing the same image. Earth. The invisible line. Empty space filled with fear. Counselor Rael spoke first. Humans control a force we do not understand. Another counselor replied, or they understand us better than we understand them. That thought was more frightening. Humans were strange. They did not rule nearby systems. They did not demand tribute. They did not spread their culture. They stayed home. And yet, the universe moved around them. Observation stations were placed near human space. Hidden. Silent. Careful. Alien scientists watched Earth day and night. They expected chaos. They found order. Earth cities glowed softly at night. Ships moved in strict paths. No random traffic. No wasteful movement. Humans prepared quietly. Not for attack. For response. Why are they so calm? Asked an alien analyst. They just erased entire fleets, another replied. There should be celebration. Fear. Something. But there was nothing. Just routine. That disturbed them most. Deep beneath Earth's surface, General Marcus Hale walked through a long corridor. Screens showed live feeds from space. Alien probes watching. Listening. Waiting. They think we don't see them, an officer said. Marcus allowed a small smile. Let them believe that. Humans had learned long ago. The best defense was being underestimated. A report arrived from intelligence. More species were building observation stations. Some peaceful. Some not. Marcus read the final line carefully. Probability of coordinated test. Rising. He closed the file. They always test limits, he said. Just like we used to. Across the galaxy, a young civilization called the Elvari argued among themselves. They were not warriors. They were thinkers. And they were afraid. We should talk to humans, one leader said. They are dangerous, another replied. They are careful, the first answered. Dangerous species do not warn. After long debate, they sent observers closer. Not to cross the line. Just to understand it. Their sensors detected something strange. The line was not a weapon. It was a trigger. It responded. It judged. And it chose. This system is not automatic, the Elvari scientist whispered. Then what controls it? Another asked. The answer came slowly. Humans. The observers watched Earth's history. Old wars. Old mistakes. Nuclear fire. Near extinction. Again and again, humans stood on the edge. And stepped back. They learned fear early. They learned control the hard way. Humans survived themselves, the scientist said. Nothing else in the galaxy has done that. That was the moment the Elvari understood. The line was not made for aliens. It was made because humans knew what happens when limits disappear. Meanwhile, not all species watched quietly. A powerful empire called the Dravik grew impatient. They ruled through force. Fear was their language. They will not stop us, the Dravik warlord said. No species controls space itself. His advisors warned him. He ignored them. The Dravik did not cross the line. Not yet. They studied it, measured it, planned around it, and somewhere in human space, Earth noticed. General Hale stood before the command council. They're gathering, an officer said. Testing from a distance. Marcus nodded. Let them watch. Should we respond? Someone asked. He shook his head. No. Why? Because observers become believers, Marcus replied. And believers don't attack. Back in space, the Elvari sent a private message to the Galactic Council. Humans are not guarding territory, it read. They are guarding the future. Many ignored the message. Some listened. Few understood. The line remained unchanged. Silent. Still. But now, It was no longer just a boundary. It was a question. And every civilization in the galaxy was afraid of the answer. The Dravik Empire did not believe in limits. They believed in strength. For thousands of years, they expanded by force. When someone warned them, they attacked. When someone resisted, they erased them. Earth's line was not frightening to them. It was insulting. Warlord Carex stood on the command deck of his flagship. Before him floated a massive fleet. Warships covered in dark armor. Weapons charged. Shields strong enough to survive stars. "This line is a lie," Carex said. "Humans hide behind tricks and fear." His commanders nodded. The Dravik had crushed stronger enemies. A quiet planet would not stop them. Scouts had already tested the boundary. Small probes vanished. But that meant nothing to Carex. "Send a destroyer," he ordered. "Full shields. Slow advance." The order was obeyed. A large warship moved forward. The galaxy watched. From distant systems, observers focused their sensors. The Galactic Council waited. The Elvari held their breath. Earth remained silent. The Dravik destroyer reached the line. There was no warning. No change. It crossed. For half a second, everything was normal. Then space twisted. The destroyer did not explode. It folded inward. Metal bent like paper. Energy collapsed into itself. And the ship was gone. No wreckage. No signal. Nothing. Silence filled the command deck. Carex stared at the empty space. "That was a weapon," one officer said, shaking. "No," another whispered. "That was judgment." Carex's fists clenched. "One ship means nothing," he growled. "Prepare the fleet." The Dravik fleet advanced together. Hundreds of warships. Weapons ready. They crossed the line at the same time. What happened next changed the galaxy forever. Space did not bend once. It bent everywhere. Each ship vanished in perfect silence. No struggle. No escape. One moment the fleet existed. The next moment, it didn't. Across the galaxy, alarms screamed. Observation stations lost all readings. Trade ships stopped mid-jump. Civilizations froze. The Dravik Empire, one of the strongest powers ever known, was gone. Not defeated. Removed. On Earth, there were no cheers. No celebration. General Marcus Hale watched the final data. "Confirm," he said quietly. "Dravik fleet erased," the officer replied. "No survivors. No trace." Marcus closed his eyes. "They chose," he said. A young officer hesitated. "Sir, did we just start a war?" Marcus shook his head. "No," he answered. "We ended one that hadn't begun yet." Messages flooded human space. Fear. Apologies. Questions. Earth answered none of them. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. "They crossed willingly," one counselor said. "And paid the price," another replied. "What happens if we cross by accident?" someone asked. No one answered. Because now they knew. There were no accidents near Earth. The Elvari sent a final report. "Humans do not fight wars," it said. "They remove threats before war becomes possible." Far away, Dravik worlds waited for orders that never came. Their empire collapsed in silence. No enemy ships arrived. No invasion followed. Just emptiness. Earth's line remained unchanged. Not brighter. Not stronger. Just there. A reminder. General Hale turned away from the screen. "Increase observation," he said. "They will test us again." "Who?" an officer asked. Marcus paused. "Everyone," he replied. Because the galaxy had learned a terrible truth. The line was not Earth's defense. It was Earth's mercy. And mercy, once ignored, does not return. After the fall of the Dravik Empire, the galaxy changed. Not slowly. Instantly. Star maps were rewritten. Trade routes vanished. Entire regions of space went quiet. No one wanted to be close to Earth. But everyone wanted to understand it. The question echoed everywhere. How? How could a single planet erase a fleet without effort? Without warning? Without weapons, observers looked deeper. They searched Earth for signs of power. They found none. No massive fleets. No planet-sized cannons. No glowing shields. Just a living world. Oceans. Forests. Cities. That made it worse. On Earth, life continued. People went to work. Children went to school. The sky stayed blue. There were no signs of a war. That calm terrified the galaxy. Deep below Earth's surface, beyond human cities, lay the truth. The Sentinel Network. Not a weapon. A system. Built quietly over centuries. Layer by layer. Humans never tried to dominate the stars. They studied them. They watched cosmic disasters. Black holes. Gamma bursts. Spatial tears. Humans learned one thing very well. How space breaks. The Sentinel Network did not attack ships. It rewrote space. The line was not a barrier. It was a command. A rule written into reality. When something crossed the line without permission, space corrected itself. Matter lost its place. Energy lost its meaning. The universe simply removed the error. The Galactic Council finally understood. Earth was not defended by machines. It was defended by understanding. Inside the human command core, General Hale stood with scientists. The line is stable, one said. No fluctuations. It won't expand? Hale asked. No, the scientist replied. It never was meant to. The Sentinel Network covered only one area. Earth. Nothing more. Nothing less. Humans could not conquer the galaxy even if they wanted to. And that was the most frightening part. They chose limits. Alien historians studied human history. They saw the reason. Humans almost destroyed their own planet. Not once. Many times. They learned the cost of unchecked power. We don't protect Earth because it is strong, one human scientist said quietly. We protect it because it is fragile. The Elvari received restricted data through old human channels. They were shocked. Earth is not a fortress, their leader said. It is a shelter. The line was not drawn to claim space. It was drawn to protect life. Elsewhere, fear turned into respect. Some species built shrines facing Earth. Others banned travel near the boundary forever. Children grew up hearing stories. Do not cross the human line. General Hale watched a new report. Several civilizations had moved their borders away. No threats. No tests. Just distance. That's good, he said. An officer looked unsure. Sir, what if someone tries again? Hale's expression hardened. Then they already know the price. Above Earth, the stars looked the same. But the universe was no longer free. Not near humans. The truth spread quietly. Earth was not guarding space. It was guarding itself. And the galaxy had never seen a species strong enough to stop at one planet. Fear did not arrive like an explosion. It moved slowly, quietly, system by system. After the truth about Earth spread, the galaxy changed its behavior. Ships avoided human space. Even passing near the line felt dangerous. Navigation systems were updated. A red warning appeared on every star map. Human boundary. No entry. Trade alliances broke. Old enemies stopped fighting. Nobody wanted attention anymore. Because attention could bring humans. Stories spread among civilians. Not facts. Legends. They erase ships with thought. They control space itself. They are watching everyone. None of it was true. But fear did not need truth. On distant worlds, children were warned. Stay inside mapped space. Do not explore near Earth. Humanity became a warning, not a threat. The Galactic Council met again. This time, attendance was full. No one wanted to be absent. We must speak with Earth, a counselor said. Another replied, or leave them alone forever. The room divided. Fear and respect walked side by side. Some species made a choice. They moved their colonies. Whole planets were abandoned. Better to lose land than test human patience. Others tried a different path. They studied humans. Their art. Their stories. Their past. What they found confused them. Humans wrote about fear openly. Failure. Loss. Regret. A species that feared itself more than others. On Earth, news from space was limited. Most humans did not even know what had changed. They still argued about politics. Still worried about weather. Still dreamed small dreams. That normal life became another legend. General Hale stood before a global council. The galaxy is stepping back, an advisor said. Fear is doing our work. Hale frowned. Fear does not last, he replied. Understanding does. A message arrived from a neutral civilization. Simple. Respectful. We acknowledge your boundary. Earth replied with silence. Silence was enough. Across the stars, military fleets were downsized. Weapons were stored away. Wars paused. Because everyone remembered the Dravok. An empire erased for one mistake. Some called humans monsters. Others called them guardians. Most called them something worse. Unavoidable. The Elvari watched all of it. They saw fear growing too strong. They warned the Galactic Council. If fear becomes myth, they said, someone will try to break it. And far from Earth, in a quiet system, a signal was sent. Not hostile. Not friendly. Curious. It asked a question no one else dared to ask. Humans, the message said, do you intend to rule the galaxy? On Earth, General Hale read the message. He did not answer. Not yet, because some answers could change everything. The line in space remained still. But fear had gone far beyond it. And fear, when it grows too large, always creates the next conflict. The message did not come from an empire. It did not come from a fleet. It came from a single ship. Small. Unarmed. Slow. The ship stopped far from the line. Well outside the boundary. It did not cross. It waited. Earth noticed immediately. Every system lit up. Single vessel detected, an officer reported. No weapons. No shields. General Marcus Hale studied the screen. Origin. Elvari, the officer replied. Hale nodded. Open a channel. The galaxy held its breath. For the first time since the line appeared, Earth answered. The Elvari envoy appeared on the screen. Oh, come. No fear in its eyes. Only respect. We come without threat, the envoy said. We remain outside your boundary. Hale leaned forward. Speak, he replied. The envoy paused, then asked the question that had echoed across the stars. Humans, do you plan to rule us? Silence filled the room. Not anger. Not shock. Thought. Hale turned to his advisors, then back to the screen. No, he said simply. The envoy tilted its head. Then why hold such power? Hale stood. He did not raise his voice. Because we learned what happens when power has no limits. The Elvari listened. The galaxy listened. Humans once ruled their own world through force, Hale continued. We almost lost everything. We did not survive because we were strong, he said. We survived because we stopped. The envoy's voice softened. Then why the line? Hale answered without hesitation. Because space has no walls. And walls are needed. The envoy stepped closer to the screen. Is the line permanent? Hale shook his head. No. That single word sent shock through the galaxy. Then what removes it? The envoy asked. Trust, Hale replied. The Elvari were silent. Trust was rare. Trust was dangerous. If we cross in peace, the envoy asked carefully. You won't, Hale said. Not until invited. The envoy bowed slightly. A warning, then. Yes, Hale agreed. And a promise. Across the stars, observers replayed the transmission. Humans were not conquerors. They were caretakers. Reluctant ones. The envoy delivered one final message. We will tell the galaxy, it said. Earth does not seek control. Hale nodded. Tell them something else, he added. What? The envoy asked. That the line is not for us, Hale said. It's for who we might become if pushed. The channel closed. The ship turned away, never crossing the boundary. Back on Earth, an officer exhaled. Sir, will they believe us? Hale looked at the stars. Some will, he said. And the rest? They'll stay away, Hale replied. And that is enough. The galaxy felt something new. Not fear. Not peace. Balance. The line remained. But now it was understood. Not as a threat, but as a choice. The galaxy did not attack Earth. It did something far more difficult. It waited. Years passed. No fleets crossed the line. No probes tested it. No weapons were aimed at Earth. The universe learned patience. Trade slowly returned, taking long paths around human space. Civilizations grew without expansion. Wars became rare, because every leader remembered one truth. Some limits could not be challenged. On Earth, the line still existed, unchanged, invisible. But humans never forgot why it was there. General Marcus Hale stood in the same command room, older now, his hair gray, his voice calm. Status? He asked. No violations in 10 years, an officer replied. Hale nodded. Good. A young scientist spoke carefully. Sir, will we ever remove the line? Hale looked at Earth on the screen. Maybe, he said, when the galaxy no longer needs it. The Sentinel network remained silent. Not active. Not sleeping. Waiting. Across the stars, children of other worlds learned about humans. Not as monsters. Not as gods. But as a warning written into history. The Elvari recorded the final human message into their archives. It became legend. We did not draw the line to keep you out. We drew it to keep ourselves in. Because humans understood something others did not. The greatest danger was not the unknown. It was power without restraint. One day, far in the future, a signal was sent. Not to cross the line, but to ask, may we come closer? Earth answered, yes. Not all at once. Not with fleets. But with trust. The line did not vanish. It faded, because it was never a weapon. It was a promise. And the galaxy finally understood the final truth. Earth was not protected because it was strong. Earth was strong because it chose not to conquer. In the end, the line was not drawn in space. It was drawn in the human mind. And that line saved the universe.